Welcome back to Spekd. I have been tagged by the WeatherPig to display some of my best models. Now, originally me and him had this conversation and he came up with this beautiful idea to give everybody an opportunity to showcase some of their work. Now obviously this is not all of it, and he did say to me just pick 5 models. But I found it very hard just to pick 5 models, and I don't want to talk too much, I just more want to show the models. Now the reasons why I have got them in clusters, in groups, is because they are all related to how I learned how to paint that particular technique. So don't stress about it being too many models. So I'll separate them out and then we'll have a look at them together. And then I'll select a couple of people, just to give them the opportunity to show their work. It'd be really nice. So let's separate them out and I'll tell you why I picked those particular ones. Okay, please understand these are in no particular order, but I'm going to start off with all the golden boys here. The reason why I like these is because I learned how to do marble basing for the Sigmarite models. Just basically use a couple of greys, layered, worked in streaks of gold, and that was really new and different for me. And that's what actually encouraged me to do things like narrative bases, which leads to this Custodes Terminator. I think it's a Laris Terminator, and I have him teleported in, hence those little kind of teleport streak lines. I thought it was fun, it adds a bit of story, and that's why I like these guys. So that's the gold section. Okay, next is the Death Guard models, you see here. Now the reason why I chose these guys for a particular painting style is a combination of a few things. Now on this channel I'm collecting the Conquest magazine and I'm going through it. So I did manage to try out this technique using a sponge to paint this tank. That went so well that I then went on to paint the Lord of Contagion using the same thing, but I just added a bit more in the way of highlighting and contrast. Sorry, you can see there, I got a bit more focus. And that led to this most recent development where I added more highlighting or more contrast into edges. So we started here, and now we've kind of got this, which has more detail, more contrast work, and I will be showing that in a new video. So that's the reason why I've gone for that painting technique and style. It's all sponge work. Same as this guy, but the reason why I like this one in particular is because I combined my narrative base work. So I've got a section here with bases, and I used cinnamon, tea bags, straws, hot glue, a little bit of grouting, and sponge work, and that's it. And it's given this really kind of weird, awkward looking, I'm going to get you no matter where you hide kind of creature, and I'm liking that for the fetid bloat drone. So that's those ones. Next is this amble. I'm kind of hoping that the camera's light shows where the green and the purple kind of cross over and mix. So you kind of have like this on the chitin, you have like this iridescent colour. I think you'll almost catch it there. That was a really tricky thing for me to learn how to paint, but I worked at it until I got it. Made sure it had a nice high shine and gloss, and I did that using the gem colour coats. Gem colour paint, sorry. And this is from the Blackstone Fortress, the Amble. And that was a lot of fun to paint. Didn't take that long. I kind of used my Tyrannid basis there for Leviathan, so just touch it there with a purple, Gene Stealer purple, just to make it kick through. And I kept the eyes metallic because once I found out that this creature eats through power reactors, it had to be a thing. On to the next one. The next is the Scyther Lords. And the reason why I chose these guys and gals is because it's from Warcry. For a simple reason that the models themselves all have different skin colours. They're all different tones. And how I did that was working with a variation of washes and the same base colour, but using a different tone of wash, or just basically starting with a wash first and then going back over dry brushing. So it was using multiple different techniques to formulate it, and it's come out really well. And on top of that, I love their dynamic posing. I didn't create that. I mean, Games Workshop did that. So, but I really do like the models. So there we go. Okay, next Black Legion gets some love. The reason why I like the Abaddon model is because the base contains a lot of hidden features in there, such as glow in the dark effects, and also the blade's faces. Took a little bit of detailing, but it's like a combination of 4 different colours and a few glazes to get that. So that was really nice for me to learn, which was a basis of a lot of my power swords. And here I have my Master of Possessions, and this is one of my most braver pieces. The reason why I say that is because I worked with about 4 to 5 different sources of light. You know, from the objects which he was holding, which was generating magic, same as the warp power coming through the staff. It runs down his arm into his body, and then he even has the fiery kind of effect from the base coming up. But if you check on the side there, you'll see that on his pauldron he also has like the powers coming through from the warp on his mantle, and that was really interesting to do. And it's quite fun, very colourful, very bright, vibrant, very bright. And when placed next to Abaddon, it makes a brilliant piece of contrasting against a Black Legion army which he's part of. So I'm very happy with that, and I'll more focus on light sources in the future. Okay, I'm sure you will have seen these before in the background of my videos, but next is the Sons of the Phoenix. Now the reason why I'm in for these guys is because of simple little details, such as the candle work. That's all custom, so I actually had to do that myself. Blade work, just figuring out how to kind of make a frosted power sword effect because Mastercraft did, including the flame effects from the Flamer video that I did to create like a halo effect here with the chaplain. That was fun to do. And also included the effects that I used for the Psycho video back in Conquest when I first started out. So it's really good to combine all of those things. And I learned how to create purity seals, and that was not fun at all. They take forever to make, but once you make them, they last, and they are kind of fun. Color combination of white and purple was very tricky because obviously you can't get the white muggy. I'm not going to say dirty because you know the effects will lead to it being dirty. I had to generate the chapter marking. I went into Illustrator and I drew it up myself, so it might be slightly different. I don't know how much more different, but you know it's there, so I had to create that. So that was fun. And out of all of them, I really liked the librarian, the Phobos librarian, simply because with this flame he's actually generating himself. It's not like on the candle as the other two. The High Chaplain is so enamored with the Sons of the Phoenix, he's always aflame with the Emperor's light. But this one here, it's just a nice little touch. It's very subtle, very simple, it's not overwhelming. And I like it. I took time on the blade. It's clean. The clothing has colour variations and tints from the effects of his power. His clothing is picking up the dirt from the ground. Same as a chaplain there. And it's a nice kind of addition to the models that I have from the Shadowsphere box set, but also is mainly is now added to my mainly Primaris army, and it's really expanding, which I have a showcase coming up soon. So I really like these guys. Doing the dread on his own here. He has a combination of almost everything that I've learned over the time doing Conquest magazine. So I used to paint models once or twice before, like Transformer models, and resell them. But it never had this level of detail. It was pretty much you could get away with dry brushing them and it was okay. Whereas with something like this, I had to learn a hell of a lot of new things, and it was purely experimentational. You know, it wasn't like I just had reference to kind of make these candles, or make the purity seals. With the purity seals, I was kind of given the idea from Adam Fox as to using sweetie wrappers, but I figured foil would work after I used foil in combination with card to make like a standard, and I realised it was tough enough, and I thought it would be a good idea to try that with this. So it worked out okay. Colours were tricky. Again, it was white, but it's not just pure white. You can't see it too well with the light kind of blowing it out, but there's kind of like blue tinges in there. There's kind of touches of greys and off-whites, but it's not grimy unless it's near a vent, and that's something that's really important. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. But this is an ongoing project, so I probably will update some more of the colours or change it a few things. Like I might change this over, make it black to make it clearer. Change the ribbons there, rather than gold and being ostentatious. Try to make it something maybe highly contrasting. I'll see how I feel. But I think it works really well. And this has had a lot of work on it, and it will have a lot of work anyway. So that's why I like this, because you can always come back and improve it. Okay, so these last three are my blood angels. This is where I started from when it comes to my main army, 9th Legion all the way. With the Sons of the Phoenix in tow. Now with these guys, I learnt how to create, let's get that back in focus, a non-metal metal effect. And it did take quite a lot of time, because originally I just coloured them flat Mephisto and red, and then just kind of left it as that. Highlighted and was like, okay, I need a bit more than that. And then I started working my way through the colours, and I learned that a combination of pink can work really well with these guys. It's not often that I use pink, but you can see it adds to the illusion of more colour. Looking at these, I would think I probably would go back and add more black to the red to give it more of a contrast, because I think that's what it actually needs to give it more of a kick. Because right now it's sitting in that realm of almost like comic book colour. Now I'm a comic book fan, so that's okay with me. But I think if you really wanted to add more to that contrast, that's the route you should take. But you can see there, no matter where I turn this, the point of light is still where it is. Same as back there. So that was a lot of fun. And it did combine a lot of dusting, a lot of dust work, base work. And this guy here, you can see his vents. Let's go to make it there, but you can see the vents there. Just used a lot of utilising extreme colours, a touch of glaze, a touch of blue, and whites. So those are my models that I'm happy with. I like to showcase. I've got plenty more, but I'll do those in individual kind of model showcasing, like army showcasing. I think that's for the best. And yeah, I suppose now it's time to tag. Okay, so that's my showcase of my models, the ones that I really liked and developed and learned quite a bit from. And the further I go with it and the more effort and time I take, the more I utilize a combination of all these techniques on each model. And it doesn't actually take that long after a while. So without further ado, it's time for me to tag Mythos from Frost and Fists. I see some of your work when you're doing the showcasing, and I would love to see more. We only get to see a little bit, so come on buddy, let's see what you got. And also Terratrix Wargaming, I would like to see your stuff as well. Terry's a great guy, he's got a good channel. You should pop over to both of these channels actually and check him out. He's always coming up with these ideas which, like I come up with ideas, but he comes up with some really unusual ones that I wouldn't even have considered, and they work really well. Like one time he created a base where he turned the base upside down and filled it in, and then placed his model in it, so it was like in a swamp, and it was just beautiful, because it still allowed the model to occupy the same space as it was in before, and it was just great. Maybe he'll show you that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. This has been Spekd. I've enjoyed my time. WeatherPig, thank you very much for kicking this into gear and getting me started off for the new year. And I hope you will catch us all soon. PC out.